In the summer of 1692, a noose swayed in the hot New England air. Below it stood a woman, calm, pale, trembling. Her name, Rebecca Nurse. She was 71 years old. The crowd pressed forward. Children clutched their mothers' hands. A minister raised his voice to heaven and shouted, "Let the witch be cut off from among us." The trapdoor opened. Her body dropped. Silence fell on the town of Salem. Some prayed, some cheered, some turned away, unsure if they had just killed a witch or an innocent soul. But the truth? It was never about witchcraft. It was about fear. And fear is the most dangerous spell of all. Salem Village, Massachusetts, 1692. A small Puritan settlement built on strict faith and fragile peace. Its people believed the devil walked among them, always searching for weak hearts. They worked hard, prayed harder, and trusted almost no one. Every whisper mattered. Every look could be a sin. They were God's chosen, or so they believed. But beneath the calm surface, jealousy, old grudges, and greed were growing. Like rot under a painted wall, neighbors fought over land. Families accused each other of pride. And the ministers preached not of love, but of fire. In Salem, even children were taught, if you are not with God, you are with the devil. That single belief would soon destroy them all. Winter, February 1692. Inside Reverend Samuel Parris's small wooden home, his daughter Betty and niece Abigail Williams began to scream. Their bodies twisted. They cried out that invisible hands were pinching them. They barked like dogs and fell to the floor in fits. Doctors came, but found no illness. There was only one explanation left in their world: witchcraft. The girls said they saw dark spirits. They pointed to women from the village, poor, strange, disliked women. Tituba, the enslaved woman from Barbados. Sarah Good, a beggar. Sarah Osborne, an old woman who skipped church. The townspeople were terrified. How could the devil be here, in God's own village? Fear spread faster than reason, and Salem began to turn on itself. Winter, February 1692. Inside Reverend Samuel Parris's small wooden home, his daughter Betty and niece Abigail Williams began to scream. Their bodies twisted. They cried out that invisible hands were pinching them. They barked like dogs and fell to the floor in fits. Doctors came, but found no illness. There was only one explanation left in their world: witchcraft. The girls said they saw dark spirits. They pointed to women from the village, poor, strange, disliked women. Tituba, the enslaved woman from Barbados. Sarah Good, a beggar. Sarah Osborne, an old woman who skipped church. The townspeople were terrified. How could the devil be here, in God's own village? Fear spread faster than reason, and Salem began to turn on itself. March 1692. The accused were dragged to meeting houses and barns, makeshift courts of fear. Magistrates asked impossible questions. Who hurt you? Who sent the devil to torment you? The girls screamed, fell, pointed. Their performances were wild, theatrical, and believed. Each accusation birthed three more. Neighbors began naming neighbors. Old arguments resurfaced as accusations. Jealousy became justice. Revenge became righteousness. By spring, over 100 people were accused of witchcraft. Men, women, even children. Salem had become a theater of madness, and everyone had a part to play. The court of Oyer and Terminer was formed in May. Its mission: to judge witches and cleanse the colony. Chief Justice William Stoughton presided, cold, devout, unyielding. He believed the devil was real and working in Salem. The rules of proof were twisted. If you denied being a witch, it was proof of your guilt, because witches lied. If you confessed, you might be spared, because repentance pleased God. The innocent hung. The liars lived. Even the impossible became evidence. Dreams, visions, ghosts, spectral sightings. If someone said they saw your spirit tormenting them in a dream, it counted. Salem's church became a courtroom. Faith became a weapon. And truth died on the witness stand. Summer came, and with it, the executions. June 10th, Bridget Bishop, first to hang. She had once spoken her mind, dressed too brightly, and laughed too loudly. That was enough. Then came Sarah Good, Rebecca Nurse, John Willard, Martha Carrier, and many more. Each climbed the wooden ladder. Each proclaimed their innocence to the end. But their words drowned in the crowd's cries. Ministers prayed, ropes tightened, and Salem's conscience grew darker with every body that dropped. Children began to mimic the accusers for attention. Fathers accused daughters. Friends betrayed friends. The madness fed on itself until the entire village became its own executioner. By September, 19 people were dead, hundreds imprisoned. Even dogs were executed for witchcraft. But cracks began to show. When respected citizens, church elders, landowners, even ministers' wives were accused, the people began to question. Could it be that the devil wasn't in the accused, but in the accusers? Governor Phipps, returning from war, was horrified. He ordered the court dissolved. The hanging stopped, but the damage was done. Salem would never be the same again. Prisoners were slowly released, their lives in ruins. Many died in cold cells waiting for freedom that came too late. The survivors were shunned. Their families left in poverty and shame. Years later, some accusers confessed they had lied, or believed they had seen what wasn't there. The town held days of fasting and prayer for forgiveness. Ministers apologized, but no prayer could bring back the dead. The land itself seemed cursed, fields left untilled, homes abandoned, silence heavy as guilt. Even centuries later, the name Salem carried a shadow. What happened in Salem wasn't just a tragedy, it was a mirror. When fear replaces reason, when belief replaces evidence, when accusation replaces truth, society burns its own. It wasn't witches that destroyed Salem. It was fear. And fear is a fire that doesn't need a match. It only needs a whisper. Today, Salem is a tourist town. Witch museums, haunted houses, costumes, and candles. But beneath the souvenirs lies a graveyard, a warning carved into history. The trials lasted only 1 year. The fear they created lasted forever. Every time we rush to judge, every time we believe the loudest voice instead of the quiet truth, every time we trade justice for fear, we repeat Salem. It wasn't witchcraft that killed the innocent. It was fear itself.